Hi, today I'd like to talk to you about how to select a financial education. But first, I would like to tell you a little bit about my own story when it comes to education. I started studying at the age of 5 in a English school here in Sweden. And I stayed there until I was 12, which was how far the education would go. And I really wanted to go and continue my education in England, but we didn't have the funds then. So I decided to start a Swedish school. And I went there, and after a couple of years, we actually had the funds, and I went to a boarding school. And so I stayed at a boarding school in England, which was a great experience. So I've been both in the British system and the English system, and then I finally had the chance to study in America. So I've had all these three experiences growing up. So if you've had a different experience from different school systems, please comment below and with a yes that you've had different experiences with different school systems. And so what I'd like to tell you is that my name is Rosalind, and I am a financial management consultant that female entrepreneurs seek out when they want to develop a financial strategy for their business. So today I'm going to give you 3 tips on what to think about when you select a education. I just finished my executive MBA at the Stockholm School of Economics, and these were the 3 ideas that I had to think about as I selected the school. So my first tip is support before class. And what I mean by that is that you have to think about what kind of support does the school offer you before you actually show up to class. So, for instance, is there an information meeting? Do they give you access to former students that you can talk to? How easy is it to get an access? And as well, does the school have any kind of scoring that is important? I noticed as I was doing research for Stockholm School of Economics that they were ranked on Financial Times, and so I knew that probably this was a very good school. And what was also very important to me was to look at the profile. Would they have the right or the same values? That do they share my values, and whatever they would teach me there, could I actually stand for that? So that was my first tip, to look at what kind of support would they give me actually before enrolling. My second tip is to look at what kind of support do they give you during class. So what I mean by that is to look at what is their faculty like? What kind of experiences do the teachers have that actually work there? What kind of library do they have? Is there a high quality library? Will you be able to do research? Is it easy accessible? And as well as, do they offer some kind of live education? Because it's really, really difficult to apply something if you don't get to work with it. Theory is good, but you also need practice. So those were like the important things for me to look at: faculty, library, as well as do they offer any kind of live education. My third tip is to look at what kind of support can they offer after class. So what I noticed was once you have put a lot of money into your education, you obviously want to make sure that that you can continue with your education in a good way. So what I meant, like, do they have a mentor program? Is it free of charge, or how much does it cost? Will you be able to follow that? And also look at the alumni the alumni possibilities? Do they have a lot of famous alumni? Do people tend to go back, and do they have a lot of alumni events, and what kind of events? What kind of qualities are those events? Do people actually, does the school make it easy for people to stay in touch and to use a network? And also, I tend to look at success rates. I mean, what do people earn after they've gone through this education? And so that's also something very important. So those are the 3 tips that I would recommend to look at before selecting a financial education. What kind of support can you get before enrolling, during enrollment, and also after the enrollment? And to tie back to my personal experience about going to these 3 different school systems, I would say that what was really important for me is to realize that, education is something that is continuous, that you should always be happy to seek out, as well as, you should be rewarded for good behavior. I remember in the English school, there was a lot of discipline, and I think that was something really good that you need to have in a school, as well as what I learned from going through a Swedish school is that, if you really want something out of it, it's more up to you, because the education is free, and if you really want to get out something, you get out what you put in, basically. And I think the most important thing is, what I learned was that you really need to have extra resources to support you, not just when you're in class, but also have a network around you so that you can learn and network and speak to others and get that live experience. All right. So good luck with your selecting a financial education. Look for those 3 things. And if you want to meet me and discuss financial issues, you can always sign up for my rooftop lunch, which you can find at www.rosalyndolamina.com. So I hope to see you at my next rooftop lunch. Ta-da!